Wow. So how do you follow that? I can tell you I won't start with a handstand. I may slip a disc. But thank you, Chris. I just wanted to say thanks to Chris for your kind words. And on behalf of my colleagues, Nick, Vanina, and Marilyn, as well as the rest of the student body here at American University, I just want to extend our thanks to both Chris and his family, as well as the generous supporters here today in the room that really make pursuing our passions with vigor a possibility. So if we could give everyone in the room a round of applause, please. So as Chris mentioned, I was blessed to serve on active duty in the Marine Corps for about 10 years. And just as I thought my commitment had ended, just this weekend, Chris informed my fiancée, Emily, and I that in light of his concerns of the state of the divorce rates in the country today, that it was actually our patriotic duty to stay married for as long as he and Gail have. So thanks, Chris, for signing me up for another 40 years of service to this wonderful country. In all seriousness, to anyone that really knows Chris for any length of time, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is perhaps one of the most genuine and generous individuals that you'll have the fortune of meeting. His dedication to causes such as conservation of our wonderful planet, as well as the protection of animals during filming, is respected around the globe. His commitment to his family and to his students is truly inspiring. But perhaps most importantly, you know that he knows how to work a room, and you've seen a little bit of that today. I've heard him tell people on a few different occasions how he came about this marvelous skill that seems to elude the vast majority of us in the room today. And I thought I might share the story with you, if Chris, that's okay. So as Chris tells the story, his mother was truly a very kind and thoughtful woman, and one who made a very deliberate point of finding that single individual in the room who seemed to be left out or on the periphery of the crowd. Whether by choice or by nature of the circumstances of the setting, she would then very intentionally engage this person and gently bring them into the fold of various conversations that were occurring in the room. And then she would encourage others to welcome those guests and those individuals with open arms. It was this very considerate and genuine action that made a very profound impact on the person that Chris has become today. And personally, I'm truly very honored to even be associated with her memory. But you see, like Chris, I too have a very close connection to my own mother. So my mom encouraged me from a very young age to identify my own passions and to pursue them vigorously with everything that I had. As a single parent, she worked full-time, and she had a lot on her plate to raise a boy who wanted to play every single sport that was available, and then to also shoot every frame of 35mm film that she would buy within the first 24 hours. But she never asked for help, and she never once complained. My mom gave selflessly of her time and both of her young adult years to push me in every one of my single interests. And to suffice it to say, she'll be the best person at my side at my wedding this summer. She taught me that when you identify a cause that you really believe in, something that you really would do anything for, you'll do anything to ensure that it's successful and that you're successful in the pursuit of this activity. That was precisely why I chose to join the Marine Corps. So people often ask me now at this point, why do you decide to transition out of the Marine Corps after 10 years of service and then move into this very uncertain career path of filmmaking? And to be honest, I often ask myself the same question. Some approach the question with a great deal of zeal and some professional jealousy about the ideas of creating films on your own, but other people will actually approach it with a bit more of healthy skepticism. And I can't say that I blame a single one of them. All you have to do is pick up the latest copy of any magazine's career rankings and find out very quickly that the creative fields aren't among the top breadwinners in today's workforce. But if I'm being completely honest, if I'm being truly honest to the group today, I rather enjoy responding to that question at this point, and particularly for the folks that are actually worried on my behalf. Truthfully, the answer is actually my mother. So see, she's always encouraged me never to get too comfortable with my place in life. Where one begins to start to feel settled, one has the potential to lose their enthusiasm for learning, for life, and for personal growth. I'd like to think that when I look back on my life, it will actually read like a book. And perhaps not a bestseller like one of Chris's books or a romance novel, but certainly in the form of chapters. Going back to school here at AU to pursue those skills necessary to become a successful filmmaker and a storyteller has been critical in the transition from my own role in the Marine Corps as a reconnaissance platoon commander and intelligence officer, and then in the next chapter of my life. You see, I'm confident that this chapter will actually be a successful one, because my mother taught me that I've identified a cause and a worthy endeavor, and that I'll do whatever it takes to see to its success. And it's because of Chris and other folks in this room that my colleagues and I are actually able to write those chapters that will become the rest of our lives. So I'd like to leave you with a quote, as Chris did. It's actually a poem that's driven me when I find myself doubting various choices that I've made. And in John Blaze's words, live more than your neighbors. Unleash yourself upon the world and go places. Go now. Giggle, no laugh. No, stay out past dark. And bark at the moon like the wild dog you are. Understand that this is not a dress rehearsal. This is it, your life. Face your fears and live your dreams. Take it in. Yes, every chance you get, come close. And by all means, whatever you do, get it on film. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.